Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Moss, host of the S.O.S. The Shout Out Show. Hope you're having a tremendous Monday. As you know, today is Mo Better Monday. So whatever kind of money you're having, if it's up and down, we hope to make it more better. First of all, I want to thank everybody that checked out the show yesterday. Our Easter Perspective show got some really good comments, some really good insights from people. And like I said, this was just a general conversation about Easter and the idea of how we carry traditions, how we don't carry traditions. And a lot of it has to do with, how we frame our own religiosity. So everybody that tuned in for that show, I want to say thank you. And I want to welcome everybody back. Some people actually on spring break. Have a good time. Some people are coming off of spring break, got to get back to work. It doesn't matter, brothers and sisters. At the Shout Out Show, you know why it doesn't matter? Because we go daily. We're out here every day, so it doesn't matter. We're out here every day. So let me give a shout out to my newbies coming out on the show. Anybody coming out on the show for the first time? Simple rules. Come and enjoy yourself. Check into the comment section, gets what's known as your shout out, which means that we're shouting you out, what you have to say, what you think is important. Because while I am the host of the Shout Out Show, I am not the owner of the platform. This is a community platform, and I encourage people to come on the show. I say keep it classy, whatever you got to say, keep it classy. We're not here to hurt people's feelings, and we're not here to start any fights. But I'm saying keep it classy. Bring your ideas, okay? Bring your ideas. Bring some of your concerns, because we do talk about them on the show. I'm the host. I might be the conductor, but it takes people to put coal in that furnace, keep the train going. So I'm gonna frame that out. And if you're on the show for the first time, look, when you get in the comment section, don't be shy. It's gonna be some other people in there. Those people are known as the stars in the building, better known as the Shout Out Show family, the Shout Out Show soldiers. Why are they soldiers? Because they are steady, they are consistent, they are disciplined, they are here every day. Can you imagine having 346 shows in a row? And I can say that most of the people who are my stars in the building, Shout Out Show family, they've been here for easily 90 to 95% of those shows. Some people have been here since the very beginning. Okay, so listen, join in. This is a community talk that we're getting ready to have. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to shout out Miss Eleanor. We want you to get better, Miss Eleanor. We know you had a fall, and we're praying for you. Also want to give a shout out to Miss Ree. Ree is our craft services, and Ree blessed me, if you will. She gifted me with a whole pan of turkey lasagna that I can watch with the game tonight, the NCAA finals. Thank you, Sister Ree, and we hope that your recovery is full, robust, and complete and quick. So thank you so much. So let us get into the stars in the building. Shout out. I already just shouted out Miss Ree. Thank you again. Our culinary expert on the show. When you get better, we're going to do that cooking show. I got some things I can tell you. I got some tricks of shooting that show. I had a very good shout out today. Shout out to Sheikh Joe Bradford, who graced us with his presence, and he talked to us about zakat. The whole idea is zakat, charitable giving during the month of Ramadan, but also outside of the month of Ramadan, also talking about how we plan our finances. He says, you have to have a plan for the afterworld, but you got to have a plan for when you're here. So make sure we also are thinking about our plan here. So I won't get into that. That's probably going to be part of our young Ramadan talk. We can give a shout out also to Olive Branch Muslim Family Services that hosted me while I was shooting their ads this weekend. Big shout out to the Olive Branch Muslim Family Services Board, Sister Yalda, and people who came out for the food drive. Wonderful people doing great things. Let me give a shout out. All right. Hello, family. Taking each day at a time. That's the way it goes, Sister Reed. Got to take it each day at a time. And we appreciate you. I'm going to get into a little bit of a scope about appreciation in our subject matter today. So if I get a little bit off, tell me, and I will appreciate it. Shout out to Sister Rabina coming all the way over from the UK. She's up late, brothers and sisters. Sister Rabina is up late, tuning in. I know she's probably got 4 or 5 bed sheets over just looking at the show, and we appreciate it. This is the thing that makes it unique. So thank you, Sister Rabina, for coming on here. I'm interested to hear your take on this particular subject matter that we're going to get into momentarily. Starting, who else we got? My main man, Altaf Rashid. He is the international ambassador for the Shout Out Show. He represents all of Canada. If we ever get any trade agreements or anything like that for the Shout Out Show, I'm talking to Altaf. If I got to come to Toronto, I'm talking to Altaf because, like I said, he is the ambassador, the international ambassador for the show. Thank you, Brother Altaf. Always here on time. Rain, sleet, snow, Hell, he is here. We appreciate you, man. Much love. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And my little brother JT, Johnny L. Thomas, always on the show. Got his big brother's back. Man, I'm just trying to catch up with you. I'm trying to be you, man. I'm just trying to catch up because this brother is dynamic and doing wonderful things in the city of Milwaukee, as well as he's raised two amazing young men, my nephews, Jordan and Justin, and taking care of family and taking care of his wife. So kudos to you, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Joseph Eddie, Cleveland is in the house. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Joseph Eddie, I believe, Joseph, this is your first time on the show. I only know a couple people in Cleveland that would walk into a show and go, Cleveland is in the house. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. Thank you so much for coming on the shout out show. You know your family now. And you know on the shout out show, you can get your shout out and actually say Cleveland is in the house. We appreciate you coming, brother. Thank you. And we hope that we give you a great experience and you come back again. Keep us in your du'as and we'll keep you in our du'as. Shout out, family. Much love for brother Joseph Eddie. And my main man, Adam Khan, the other ambassador from Toronto. My main man, what's walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother Adam. Glad you are tuned into the show today. I think you might like this subject. I'm going to ask everybody, tune in. Sister Satana is working the back. I no longer work the back unless it's a total emergency. She has evolved and understands how to work the machinations of everything behind everything behind the show today. So big shout outs. Adam, good to see you, man. Please give my salams to your family and let them know that I have my dua. We haven't got to connect in a while, man. But when you family, it's like that. It's okay. Nobody's like, I ain't seen Adam. I have seen Adam. And the reason I can say I've seen Adam is because I keep you in my duas, man. I wish you nothing but the best. Good to see you. Next up. Sister, getting prepared. Welcome to the show. That you can see, brother Eddie, you got folks, Joseph Eddie, you got people telling you welcome to your show, man. That doesn't happen on any other show. People showing love. The shout out soldiers, the shout out family shows love. Let's see how I lift my shoulders when I say love. I say shows love. See, that's real love. If somebody says I love you and the shoulders don't mean move, they lying. But if I love, there you go. That's a keeper. All right. And go Satana. Boy, Sister Reed, that energy is picking up. She's giving out some shout outs of her own. And I appreciate it. Next up, brother, I've sent you a magnificent piece of jazz played on Scottish bagpipes. You know what? Only one time, Sister Rabina, have I heard jazz played on bagpipes. And I think it was like 11, 12 years ago. But I couldn't find the recording of it. I heard it on like National Public Radio. I am excited. So I'm hoping that's on my Instagram. I will check it out. Thank you so much. And we're going to give a shout out to Sister Satana, who's making it all happen. If it is to be, it's up to me. That's what Sister Satana said. Hard work and dedication. That's what Sister Satana says. Making this thing happen every day. She's actually done more shout out shows than I have. How about that? She's been current for more shout out shows than I have. It just shows you dedication, brothers and sisters. Be on the star watch for Sister Satana. All right, let's get to our subject today. My more better Monday subject today is stop blocking your blessings. Stop blocking your blessings. I don't know who, what, where, and when, but it seems like people today don't know how to shut up and get out their own way. There's a famous joke about a man who was drowning in the sea. And a guy came by in a boat. He said, jump in the boat. He said, no, I'm waiting on my Lord to come save me. Then another guy came with a submarine. He said, get in the submarine. He said, no, I'm waiting on the Lord to come save me. And another guy came in a helicopter. He said, grab the letter from the rope. He said, grab the letter from the rope and climb up on the helicopter. The guy said, no, I'm waiting for my Lord to save me. The guy drowned. He showed up at Heaven's Gate. Peter said, God, I want to talk to you. And he said, God, why did you let me drown? God said, well, dang, I sent you a boat, a submarine, and a helicopter. He said, the problem is you. Brothers and sisters, that means we got to get out of our own way. For the sake of building better community, we have to recognize a couple of things about blessings. Okay, a couple of things about blessings. Because I think some people have got it wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% right. But I think some people have gotten it wrong about blessings. Number one about a blessing is it's not yours. It's not yours. Metaphysically, the blessing is not yours. It came your way. It's like the idea of currency. You know why they call it currency? They say money moves in a flow. And if you're lucky, you're able to get some of that money that comes by. That's why they call it currency, because it's constantly moving. Blessings are a different kind of currency. Blessings are, in some regards, the world writing itself. And if you're a believer, the world writes itself because there's a divine figure that says, this is what's right, this is what's correct. Some people get blessings, some people don't get blessings. It doesn't mean that they're not blessed. Let me throw that out there. If you don't get a blessing, it does not mean you're not blessed. Because some people equate, I'm blessed when I have a blessing. When something has happened and moved my way, the mountains have shifted and I've gotten this break. Here's the thing I say about getting out of your way. Stop blocking your blessings. This is to some of the folks who may not hear this show, but maybe you could tell them. You don't own the blessings. When it comes your way, there's two things to be mindful of: being grateful and being thankful, because you did nothing to earn that blessing. You did nothing to earn that blessing. You may work hard and but I know a football stadium full of people who worked hard, struggled hard, and they didn't get the blessings. Okay? It means also, brothers and sisters, that you can't judge it. When I say a real blessing is something you can't judge. Now, it took me a lot of years to get this through my head, brothers and sisters. But when I see other people get a blessing, then I get a blessing. What I've learned essentially as a part of my discipline is, don't judge the blessing. Don't get too high, don't get too low. You can have a blessing tomorrow, you can have a blessing a week from now, and then you can not have what you think is a blessing for a whole year. The idea is you have to be prepared in your mind to understand that hard work, in some regards, hard work does not get rewarded when you wanted to get rewarded. And a blessing doesn't show up just because you think you deserve one. You know, there's some people who, they're not necessarily religious people, but when they get a blessing, they can't even recognize it as a blessing. They say words like, I was due. You were what? I was due. You were due. I was due. It's my time. Really, your time? And people have these conversations, and it's scary. And the reason it's scary is because it separates them away from the rest of the world who understands the world doesn't owe you anything. Thus, when you get a break, when you get a blessing, be thankful, because you don't know when it's going to come again. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a little tape here. I hope you don't mind. It's just something I saw on the internet. It's a TED Talk. This guy's talking about blessings. Okay. Just work with me a minute and we'll be right back.
I want you to take a moment and I want you to count your blessings. And I mean, really think about your blessings. Think about your stage in life. And whether you're a spiritual person or not, there's no denying how lucky we are. And if you need to be reminded, let me help you. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world, where you can say and do what you want. You can come and go as you please. Most of us are blessed with fantastic health, or at least good health. And if we're not, we have some of the best world-class healthcare to get back on your feet, that allow you to reach your potential. They allow you to grow as a person, and they allow you to achieve your own intellect. And we have the love and support of friends and family that can take you through life's journey and sometimes carry you when need be. Open your eyes. Think about today. I guarantee you that most of you at some point in time will look back on this time of your life and say, these were the good old days. These were great days. Remember when? These are the good old days. Think about that. And you're going to ask yourself, why did you just belabor that point? Well, I believe there are building blocks to building a better world. And it starts with appreciating your own blessings. Because if you appreciate your own blessings, you can spread that feeling to others who may not be so blessed. So first and foremost, look seriously at yourself. And we all have problems, but in the big scheme of things, how big are they? Find your passion. When you find your passion, go to the organizations that share that passion, because that's where you're going to get the most impact. Treat your volunteer effort like you would your work or your studies. Be methodical. Be deliberate. Be committed, and measure your impact. Be methodical. And last but not least, give selflessly. If you give without expecting anything in return, I can guarantee you will get far more than what you've given in time and treasure.
Okay. All right. This is nothing new that you heard. There's a guy saying, appreciate your blessing, find your passion. Be methodical and give selflessly. Okay. All of those tie into something that I thought about when he said at the beginning. What did he say at the beginning? This guy said, count your blessings. You know how many times I've heard that term? Count your blessings, count your blessings, count your blessings, count your blessings. Let me throw this one out to you. I was with a sheikh several years ago. We were having lunch. He was an imam. He's a good friend of mine, may Allah be pleased with him. His name is Imam Qasim, man. He passed away about 2 years ago. We were having some lunch, and something came up, and somebody said something, count your blessings. And, he had his word, preacher. And I said, yes, sir. He said, you know why people say count your blessings? I said, why? He said, because it's a challenge for the unknown. He said, it's a challenge from the unknown. He said, the idea of count your blessings is something from the unknown and the unseen, the unseen. The fact of this message, brothers and sisters, is when people tell you to count your blessings, it is counterfactual. The fact of the matter is, you can't count your blessings. You cannot count your blessings. Why? Because every blessing has a narrative. Hear me now. Every blessing has a narrative that goes from this person to this person, to this situation, that situation, and it comes to you. Just like we talked about currency, it comes to you. It doesn't necessarily stay with you. Now, I said, hey, you know what? None of us have anything to do with our own blessing. However, if you looked at the lecture, the one thing that we can do is be a part of other people's blessings. That comes from that space about giving selflessly. What am I saying? It means that you have an obligation when you get a blessing to look around and see who does not have a blessing. There's levels of life in America. There's levels of life in the world in terms of need, in terms of assessing wants, in terms of our limitations, in terms of finances, and we all have that. We all deal with that. But the beautiful thing I've heard, the most beautiful thing I heard is that when you give a blessing, it doesn't come from you. It doesn't belong to you. It's part of a very, very special and storied narrative of things and people who thought better of themselves and better in situations to the point they wanted to help people. Ooh, it's a great thought. So next time somebody tells you, hey, you know what? Count your blessings. Well, you can't. It's rhetorical. You can't count your blessings. Shout out to my mom. My mom saying shout out to the family. Yes, my mother used to tell me to count my blessings. Give a shout out to Sister Aika. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good to see you on the show. Hope all is going well. But that whole idea, I get excited for others' blessings. Yes, there's a song. I know it's out. You probably heard it. It just ran up on me. There's a great song by Kirk Franklin called Love Theory. I love the beginning of the song. He says, how can it be that you love the worst part of me? He said, how can it be that you love the worst part of me? And when you get to the worst part of me, I was running this morning. I had to stop running. I said that in and of itself, we don't even count the fact for the believers, we don't even count the fact that our God, our Lord, loves the worst parts of us, the worst parts of us, and gives us expanse and opportunity to improve. Man, you talking about a blessing? I can't even get to that one. You can't even get to that blessing. It's so beyond the scope of what we deal with. That speech that you saw from the young man at the TED Talk, that was from 2016. Who knew that in 2021 we'd be going through this? He said at some point in time, you're going to look back and say, those were the good old days. 1 year ago was the good old days. A year and a half ago was the good old days. And what I found going through this pandemic, every day, brothers and sisters, I had to understand that a blessing was taking place, even if it wasn't for me. And Sister Reed said, I enjoy other people being blessed. I enjoy children smiling. I enjoy kids happy. I enjoy elderly who now we're not worried about I got to pay my bills, and they're not worried about the children. They are in a space where they have their own agency. They have their own agency to be themselves and enjoy the advanced stage. This is amazing, brothers and sisters. Now, if I'm getting, a little lifted, a little excited, I am. You know why? Because I like blessings. Blessings to me are in a race or a competition, not between ourselves, not between individuals, but in our own bodies, our own lives. That blessing is the thing that gives us a win. It gives us a chance to breathe and exhale a little bit. We used to say back in the man, if I could just catch a lick, that lick is really a blessing. If I could just catch a blessing, man, I'm gonna be all right over here. I'm gonna do all right over here. I'm gonna tell you, listen, and it don't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't. You'd be surprised how much or how little a goodwill, act of goodwill that frames itself as a blessing to someone else can change their whole perspective. It can switch them all around. I've been in situations, scenarios whereby my attitude may not have been the best when we started. The show may not have been, I may not have been totally into the show, but by the end of it, I put my, and it was amazing because someone said to me, the crowd needed that blessing. I didn't know anything about the crowd, but someone says the crowd needs that blessing. Or when someone says, you know what, we need to laugh. Well, you know what? That's my job. Not so much to make you laugh, but to bring levity to the situation. There's a saying that says, a smile is charity. Well, I'm still waiting on the other part. Well, tell me how much a laugh is worth. But I'm willing, brothers and sisters, I'm willing to sit and deal with the smile is charity because it's a break away from things. It is it's counteractive to so many things going on. And when we talk about this whole idea of blessings, like I said, blessings are transferable, but at the same time, you'll never know what the chain of commission is, the chain of transmission is for a blessing, because it's not written down. It's not something that you categorize. There are people who go around in the world, philanthropists, who give massive amounts of money away. Massive amounts of money away because they want to invest in opportunity. Why? Because the opportunity may lead to someone being blessed. I know they say, hey, we want to see certain things, but listen. When I was a kid, there was a family down the street from my parents' house. There were the Hills. They were a family of teachers, Mr. and Mrs. Hill. And they were beautiful people. When I was young, I remember wanting to cut people's grass to make some more money, make my own money. That was my thing. And people turned me down. And I put flyers in people's doors, and my mother this is way back when you ran off Xerox. That stuff was expensive. So I made a handwritten sign and put it on people's doors, and no one called me. And I remember being so down about that. And then I was walking down the street with my little sign, and Mr. Hill said, hey, come over here. And I was like, yes, sir. You know, when you kids, you have your hat on, you come to the adults, you're like, yes, sir. You know, I take my hat off. Hope I didn't blind you with the gray. He said, what are you trying to do? I said, well, Mr. Hill, I'm trying to cut grass and make some money, have my own money, da da da. He said, really? I said, yes, sir. He said, hold on a minute. And Mr. Hill said, you can cut my grass tomorrow. And when I came back to cut his grass, he said, do you have time to cut so-and-so's grass? I said, yes, sir. He said, what about so-and-so? I said, yes, sir. He said, what about so-and-so? I said, yes, sir. And from that one blessing, I was able to cut other people's grass. Now we talk about that chain of transmission. I was able to hire my brother Rick to come cut grass too. And I hired other kids in the neighborhood. And it wasn't about me having all of the money. What was it about, brothers and sisters? Sharing that blessing. And I think back about it, I don't even know why I even thought about bringing these guys on. I was just so happy that someone made an investment in me. We don't know where this money came from Mr. Hill. None of us do. Or Miss Hill, we don't know. I don't know his brain, his train of thought for investing in me to have me cut his grass. But here's the thing. He didn't want me to spend that kind of time figuring out why he did what he did. He wanted me focused, brothers and sisters, on appreciating what had happened. Not that he made it happen, but what had happened. And it became a situation where that currency was so strong outside of the money that I wanted to give other people opportunities. I don't come here on the show every day, of my own, my own success. I don't. I shout out everybody on the show. I'll tell you why. I shout out everybody on the show. And the reason I shout out everybody on the show because I want everybody on the show to have a blessing. Not for me. It's me wanting you to have a blessing. If I can facilitate something that does good for you, that's great. But from the larger universe, if you will, I want everybody to have a blessing. I want everybody, even if it's just feeling good, that you got acknowledged, like Mr. Hill did for me when I was 10, 11 years old. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. And so, as I wrap up here, brothers and sisters, it's important for us to understand that it makes a difference. And that's why it's so important. What you got for me, Adam? I love that you are comfortable referencing a Kurt Franklin song. Similarly, one of my favorite lyrics is, my God is bigger than a shack attack. Yeah. Adam, check out Love Theory by all of you. Check out Love Theory by Kurt Franklin. Great lyrics. Great lyrics. I mean, he's got a lot of energy. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. But great lyrics. How can it be that you love the worst part of me? I was like, yo, I stopped running. Like, oh, what did he say? What did he say? He's giving you guys the core element of a blessing. What is that blessing? He's saying almost like I'm not even worthy of it. I'm not even worthy of it. I mean, there's times when things happen for me, they're good. I'm like, man, I don't even deserve this. I don't even know why I got blessed like this. I don't know why I got blessed like this, but I appreciate it. And then you turn around and go, but it's just like, I got hired to cut that grass, but I want to see other people blessed. You know why? Because a blessed community is a powerful community and it's a powerful statement. So, brothers and sisters, that's a shout out show today. Let me give a shout out to our sponsor, talking about blessing people. I want you to reach out to www.befinanciallyindependent.com. Again, that's www.befinanciallyindependent.com. If you don't want to call, if you don't want to hit the email or the website, you can call direct 1-800-679-3175. Again, that's 1-800-679-3175. Go old school. Shout out to Aunt Maxine, who's on the other side of the line. She's a Harriet Tubman of financial advising. She's trying to lead you guys out of the debt of slavery. Listen, this has been a great show. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate you. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Big shout out to my brother from Cleveland. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate your presence. Everybody else, listen, if I didn't say it today, be blessed. I'm Preacher Moss. This is a shout out show. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you tomorrow. Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your shout out show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next shout out show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarif Tar. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out tarifatar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.